Hey everybody, Jiggin Jerry. Well, I'm just relaxing today, but I got some fishing coming up. I might have to go tomorrow. But I want to take the opportunity to show you some critters and creatures caught at the Mount Pleasant Pier. It's not all just game fish. There's no telling what you'll get into. So let's just start off by, how about this one right here?
That's right, this is a conger eel. I had no idea they were that big around here, but I had fun pulling this one up almost off the end of the pier. All right.
Or this one here.
Now this is a cobia. That's right, a cobia. It's a young 20-inch cobia I caught near the grass line. Now cobia have a particular size limit, so this is an illegal size cobia to keep, not catch. Now, I just have to release it. So, of course, this one was released safely. But it was still a beautiful picture of a beautiful fish. All right, let's move on.
Or this one.
That's right. That's what you're looking at. That's a shark. Now, it is prohibited to catch shark or keep shark off of the Mount Pleasant Pier, and along with a lot of other South Carolina piers. But you accidentally catch them every now and then. And you have to release to a certain size. If they're too large, it's mandatory that you cut your line. But in this case, this is a little 3-foot sandbar shark. It's a sandbar. They look very similar to an Atlantic shark nose, except for a sandbar has a higher dorsal fin, and they're short and stout, a little fat, almost like little great whites. But let's move on.
And I think this one's pretty crazy right here.
Now this is a puffer fish. That's right, just a puffer fish. There's a lot of different puffer fish caught off of the piers. Now this puffer fish particularly, I don't know its name. I tried to look it up, I couldn't spot it. I just know it's a puffer fish. But anyway, it has no scales. Its skin is very smooth, and it's built like a little torpedo, almost like the body of a Spanish mackerel with a puffer's head. I thought it was quite funny, but you'll have the opportunity to find all these different types of critters and creatures off of these piers. So let's move on, and I'll show you what else we'll get, and maybe we'll get into some nice game fish to give you all a little bit of excitement of what we actually really go for here. All right.
All right, and there you go.
All right, this is a skate. A lot of people catch everything that looks like this is a stingray. Well, no, there are differences. There are stingrays, there are skates. This right here is called a clear nose skate. And they're very interesting, I'll tell you. And you know what's really cool about these is check out the eyes on this thing. Isn't that amazing? I'll tell you. But we'll get into some other things here, and I'll show you some of the stingrays we get into.
Let's keep going.
Now this is one of the most popular stingrays caught over here at the Mount Pleasant Pier, especially through the summer months. This is a Cownose Stingray, and they can be quite aggressive. They love cut bait, so if you're fishing for redfish and everything else, and even whiting, croakers, you're using shrimp, these guys will pretty much devour anything. Now this one particular one here actually swooped at an artificial jig and got hooked in his fin, and I had to fight him in almost sideways. But it is a popular stingray, and a lot of people run into him. Let's move on to another species.
How about this one right here?
All right, stingrays, stingrays, stingrays. There are a lot of stingrays caught here. Now this stingray in particular resembles a few different species. Very popular out here. You're going to see the Atlantic stingray, the blunt-nosed stingray, and then the southern stingray. Now this is a southern stingray. Of course, its colors being where this one's being raised is very dark brown. Its nose is not quite as rounded as a blunt nose, but the skin underneath the tail, a little flap that almost looks like an eel fin, kind of gives this one away for being a southern stingray. But you'll hook into your Atlantics and your blunt nose and your skates, and it's all fun. The bite is very familiar because you will not get a rod shake. They just mow like a freight train. They just pull down, pull really hard, And some of these ones here, this species can get up to 7 foot across. So hang in there. All right, let's go on.
Or this one here.
All right, this is a ladyfish. Yes, a ladyfish, a small one. Now they do get a lot bigger. I've seen them up 28 inches out here, almost 30 at some times. They get, can get up to 6 or 7 pounds. They're also referred to as a poor man's tarpon. This fish is easily recognized during the fight because of its great jumping habits. It loves to jump. It will fight you top water all the way to your net. Exciting fight. One thing I do recommend is be very careful when you're releasing this fish or you have this fish in your hands. The scales are very soft and the fish gets damaged very easily. So treat it with care so it can be released safely. Okay.
Or this one.
This is a spadefish. You'll find these every now and then up against the footers, usually with some small shrimp or crustaceans when you're fishing for sheephead and stuff like that. Now let me just take the opportunity and throw a bunch of things at you here so you can see a little more of the little oddballs that we get so we can get onto some game fish. Now this is a black sea bass. You'll run into these every now and then, and they're pretty prominent out there. It's hard to find a keeper size. Check with your local limits to see if you do catch a keeper size. I believe they have to be, 13 inches. I'm not positive, don't hold me to that, but let's move on. Now this, oyster toadfish. What an ugly little critter, but I'm telling you, I always tell everybody, you're not fishing out here unless you've caught an oyster toadfish. And once you get into an oyster toadfish, well, at least you know there are fish to be caught out here. Because if you catch an oyster toadfish, you're close to something else. Because oyster toadfish are on the feed, you've got sheephead hanging around them, they're hanging around the sheephead, you've got red drum, trout, a number of fish. So just keep that in mind. Alright, the all-menacing blue crab. People go out there with crab pots, try to catch these things. I'll tell you what, have at it. Get as many as you can, because these guys will mimic you getting a bite all the time. They love anything you put on your fishing rod for bait. Now, some of them are so greedy, you can reel them right up, put them on the deck, which is what happened to this one. But remember, blue crab. There are also some other species of crabs, like this one here. Okay, this is the all-famous rock crusher crab, rock crab. The claws are a delicacy. You can trap these, but they must at least have both claws in order for you to take one claw. If they only have one claw, you're not allowed to take that claw. The crab must be released. If they have both claws, you're allowed to take the larger of the claw as long as the larger claw meets the minimum size requirements. Check with your local rules and regulations for those requirements. Anyway, before it gets too late, the sun goes down, we're all in the dark, let's go ahead and get to some game fish. So, let's see what brings everybody out to the Mount Pleasant Pier, and what are we really aiming for.
And there you go.
Alright, this monster here is a red drum. They get even larger than this. They are the larger of the game species that people like to fish for out here off the Mount Pleasant Pier in this flat. Now, red drum are a fantastic game fish to fish for because you can fish for them using artificials, or you can use numerous different types of cut bait. Most popular cut bait for red drum is either cut finger mullet or pinfish. The other things that are great for red drum are some live baits, live shrimp, live mud minnows, and live finger mullet and live pinfish are a fantastic live bait to use for reds. And of course, the artificials, numerous artificial shrimps, artificial mud minnows, artificial lures, a fast water, top water, the list can go on. This species is available for that type of fishing recreation. Alright, trout. Spotted sea trout. Yes, that's a big boy. 4 pounds, 9 ounces. I've caught bigger, up to 5.5 pounds out here at the Mount Pleasant Pier. Spotted sea trout are in the drum family. So, of course, that's just going to mean that they will eat the same things that the red drum fish eat. So, if you're out there and you're fishing for spotted sea trout, the only thing different that's a lot more prominent is spotted sea trout are fantastic fish for artificials. You can have a real good time throwing artificials at them out here and have your luck at catching them. Okay? All right, black drum. That's right. The name drum answers everything. Yes, they eat the same things. The only thing about black drum is black drum do not make it a habit for going for artificials. So I recommend using either the live bait or the cut bait, widely known for fishing in the drum family. I do not recommend using artificials for them. All right. That's right, sheephead. Sheephead is a fantastic fish for the Mount Pleasant Pier. Why? Because the Mount Pleasant Pier has a ton of structure and crustaceans. Believe me, your fishing line will let you know this. What do they like to eat? I'll tell you, they're tedious, but go for them. Fiddler crabs. In the cold weather months, use mussels and clams, and you'll have a fantastic time catching these tedious biting fish. All right, flounder. Flounder are one of the most desired fish at the Mount Pleasant Pier. Flounder are a little more particular in what they want to eat. Look, they love live mud minnows, live finger mullet, or artificial jigs, gulp jigs and artificial shrimp, DOAs, Billy Bays, live target, a number of things like that. Flounder are fun to fish for. But most people use, of course, large mud minnows and live finger mullet. And that's about it, guys.
Well, it was worth a try. Good fight.
Well, can't land them all, but I'll keep trying.
Right there on the grass. Just have to get a rematch. Mount Pleasant Pier! Alright, everybody. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of information I had on the fish that I've been catching out there. There are a lot of people catching a lot of different species out there on the pier and on the South Carolina coast. Now, there are other places in the future I have that I'm going to show you that I fish at along with some others and have a real good time. Just remember, look down here in that corner down there underneath this video, you'll see there's a subscribe button. Feel free, subscribe. It'll let you know when I have more videos available if you haven't done so already. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I do have more to come, and you all take care. Good luck out there and have fun fishing. Later.